the spectrum of envy. One being, I want her wardrobe, his partner, I want her job, I want that person's skin. Possibly feeling like you're not worthy of what someone else has, what someone else is doing. Feeling like it's unfair if another person is happy in their relationship while you're single. To 10 being, I want to destroy her relationship, her reputation. I don't just want his car. I don't want him to have it, because if I don't deserve to have it, then he certainly doesn't. Total resentment of another person's well-being, their looks, their friendships even. Just being incapable of feeling happy for other people. Envy has zero positive impact on your mental health. It also has zero positive impact on the people around you. Being on the other end of an envy attack can be awful. I remember I had this one boyfriend who would neg me all the time, so he would give me a lot of backhanded compliments to lower my self-worth, and he'd very regularly mask his sarcasm with humour while he humiliated me in front of all of his friends by mocking my achievements or my life goals, like to be a published author. And you might say I deserve it because I put myself out there online, but to this day, people allow their envy to try to take me down a peg. And the main reason this doesn't bother me like it should is because I have not only been on the receiving end of envy, I've also experienced being the type of person who couldn't stand it when other people had nice things. Let's unpack. Children envy, job envy, thighbrow envy, appliance envy. 1,000 varieties of this deadly sin exist in this day and age, largely thanks to social media. But the thing is, a lot of people are feeling envy for a lot longer in their life than they ought to, because it is something that most people grow out of. It's something that a lot of us feel when we're younger, less mature, less wise to the world. The reason a lot of us feel envy when we're young, like when we're teenagers, is because envy correlates with low self-esteem, insecurity, things that most teenagers feel. I'll never forget being 13 and wanting smooth, tanned legs like the other girls in my school. Not all of them, obviously. My brain liked to tell me I was the only one that had pasty Irish skin, seemingly constantly covered in goose flesh. But no, my brains are just, I always wanted straighter hair, more curves. The guy that she had, one time a guy I fancied called me Morticia Adams, and I ended up just hating my pale skin for a long time. I'd feel so jealous of other girls I would see with any kind of a tan, and like celebrities when they just looked like glowing, and I just felt like people thought I looked like a skeleton. It's a really negative place to be in your head when you're constantly walking around with envy. It's so bad for your life because it can lead to the breakdown of relationships and total emotional instability. Trust me. A time came in my 20s when I was at a YouTube party with friends dancing, and I looked around and I just remember like appreciating people's bodies, people's beauty without feeling that like envy in the pit of my stomach. Like I would just look at them and feel happy that they were so happy and looked so good, and that they were doing well at what they were good at, using their talents. Like I was like, yes. And I remember the first time scrolling my Instagram feed and feeling this like happy, genuine like swelling in my chest when I saw people achieving their dreams, living their best lives. I had this conversation with a friend in a hotel room after one of these YouTube conventions about this, and kind of realizing it had taken me so long, so many years, to truly feel like I was not weighed down by envy anymore. I would still, the odd time, have a little like feeling of it, but I felt like Sarah in Labyrinth when she's like, "You have no power over me." And that conversation went along the lines of, when did these envious feelings go away? How did they go away? Have I simply gotten older, or is there more to it? What actions did I take? Because my friend was still really struggling with envy. So this is a list of my advice, and it's in no particular order of like when I did it or importance. It's all important. It's based on steps I took over time, not necessarily intentionally, but just things that I realized that contributed to this shift. And I believe that these things will help you right now if you are feeling a consistent envy itch. I recognized and accepted that my feelings of envy were being driven by my own insecurities and not by other people, the people I was feeling envious of. And I let go of the scarcity mindset that told me that because someone else has what they want, I can't have what I want, because that just isn't true. Like, nobody was ever standing in my way. They were just on their own path, doing their thing, and I was comparing myself to them instead of comparing myself to my past self. That's another one. Only compare yourself to who you were yesterday, last week, last year, and never to people around you. It's just so dumb. Humans are dumb. We're so monkey brained. When you look at other people doing really cool things and take inspiration from it instead of being swallowed up by envy, you will be so surprised at how motivated you become to also kick ass and to be seen by other people as inspiring for chasing your own dreams. Having a child has made me think a lot about being capable of bearing not being able to have what you want all the time. It's really important that we teach that to children. And it's also really important that we learn that and practice that in our lives. I know now that if someone else has something and I don't have that thing, I'm perfectly capable of surviving without it. I do not need it. Not having it does not mean I'm any less than them. There are things in life that some of us will never have, and there are time periods in life that some of us will never have certain things, and it's something that we might be able to accomplish or do or experience when we're older, more financially stable. And what really helps is to look at like what's in your control. Next huge one is to pay attention to your self-talk and to shift it if it's negative and contributing to you being a jealous little bitch. And you know, if in your head you're saying like, that person is perfect, that person's amazing, that person's life is blah blah blah, whatever you're telling yourself in your head, and then you might be saying really terrible things about yourself, your situation, the type of person you are, how you look, whatever it is, just switching that narrative in your brain, which can take time but is possible to do, is literally life-changing. One thing you can do every day is to stand in front of the mirror and just have some mantra. Use that for a week or two until it starts to sink in, then change it up. I can do this. I am worthy. I deserve respect. I deserve love. Doing that really boosts your self-esteem. Please do it. Another one, I started focusing on my own strengths. I kind of touched on this, but like, ask yourself write them down. What are your dreams? I see it all the time where people will feel envious of someone for whatever it is, and they'll convince themselves that they want the exact same thing that person has, like the exact partner, the exact job, the exact award that they've won. And it's like, really? Like, it's very likely that you don't want those exact things, but that there's something about that person's life or what they have that you feel is missing in your own life. Maybe it's the joy they feel and the passion they feel when they talk about their hobby, their job. Maybe it's the respect that they received when they won that award. Maybe it's the fact that they feel very safe with their partner and their partner is very funny. Their partner makes them feel heard. Their partner is loyal to them. Again, scarcity mindset. There's plenty to go around. Person A can be happy and living their best life, and so can you at the same time. And you can even maybe have a little hug and a kiss. Another thing I noted down is that I would always have like plans and I'd always be looking forward to things. And I think that really did change things, because I noticed that the times I've been the most envious have been the times I've been the most bored in life. Like when I've nothing else to do, my brain is like, right, I'm just gonna burn up at this person's happiness instead of doing things to make myself happy. And if you're planning things to do, you know, there are things you have control over. So it's bringing it back to that sense of, what can I control? And if you don't know what kind of things to plan, make a list of all the things that are really important to you and fill you with joy. For me right now, the most important thing to me is making memories with my family, with my son and my husband, and giving my son a childhood that he smiles when he looks back on it. And so looking at like what activities can we do as a family, like in a few days we're going to this like family day out where they have like duck races and stuff, just little things like that. What experience can I give him today that will be amazing and fun and is possible for me to do and fit into my schedule? Like, doesn't have to be going on a 5-week vacation. There's so many things that people will, you know, say to you on this topic, like, you know, get off social media, like stop spending so much time online, and people only post their highlight reels and all that kind of thing. Like, the thing is, the world we live in now is very online. I just don't think that kind of advice is helpful. What advice I think is helpful is actionable advice that sinks in. Like, there's only a finite amount of time in your day to make your life better. My husband said that to me one time, and it literally was like, yeah, you're right. 24 hours in a day. I decide how I spend those hours, and I'm not going to spend 4 or 5 hours scrolling social media. I used to do that. I don't do that anymore. But like, take that knowledge further. Stewing in envy takes time and energy away from your journey to where you want to be. Like, all this time you're wasting feeling envious of them, constantly looking them up online and looking at their Instagram and just being like, ugh. Maybe you are sending them hate messages. Maybe you spend a lot of time bitching about someone from your office with your partner because you think bitching about them brings them down somehow to your level where you're at, because there's just something about them that got under your skin and you can't figure out why you're so jealous and envious and insecure when it comes to this person. Like, all of that is literally time you could be spending to, in your head, be at their level and then be like, yeah, look at us go. Random little video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you gained something from it. Please comment down below if you want more videos like this. Give it a thumbs up if you want to be really cool, and have a nice day. I'll see you again very soon.